Every medium has their own advantages. Movies are good at making you wonder what a character is thinking, while books can use eternal monologues to let us know what the character's thoughts are instead. As screenwriting instructor Robert Mckee puts it, if you were to take all the inner dialogue out of a novel and only tell people what literally happens in the physical world, it probably wouldn't be a very good story. This is the reason adapting a book into a movie can be very challenging. Hello everybody, I'm Sean the Magical Weeaboo, and I'm the developer of the visual novel game Dream the Hikikomori, the reverse dating simulator where you're the waifu, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what is the power of a visual novel game. When it comes to visual novel games, there's a lot of wiggle room as to what exactly classifies as one. Typically when we think of visual novel games, we think of interactive stories on a digital format using text, images, and sound to enhance the experience. When things get a little bit more complicated, however, is when we dive a little bit deeper into what exactly classifies as a visual novel game. For the most part, the definition is very subjective, but there have been many games most people claim are visual novel games that stretch further than the stereotypical format tends to go. One example being the Rants franchise. For those of you who don't already know, the Rants series is a classic Japanese erotic game which to this day has released over 10 volumes, making it the longest franchise to ever come out of the visual novel genre. Rants not only incorporates visual novel-styled storytelling, but also stretches further into a dungeon-crawling turn-based RPG game at the same time. Games like Rants are a perfect example as to what the advantages visual novel games have over other mediums is. Visual novel games can become any medium they want at any given time in order to enhance their story. If the developer decides it would be best for the player to wonder what a character is thinking during one of the scenes, they can use a more dialogue-driven format where the player only gets to see what the characters are saying to each other like you would see in a movie. If the developer thinks it would be best for the player to get a deeper understanding of what's going on in the character's head, they can switch to NVL mode and share their thoughts full screen. If the developer decides the player should feel more engaged in the action as if they were really there fighting some wild beast, then they can turn the scene into an epic boss battle like you would see in a Rants game. If the game has enough budget, the developer could even make a fully animated game like School Days. In fact, I think the fandom would love to see more fully animated games like that. There are unlimited ideas of what can be done with a visual novel game, and the sad truth is, not many developers have really used the medium to its full potential. Now don't get me wrong, I do believe the more stereotypical style of visual novel games does have its place. In fact, I love standard visual novel games as well. I just think it would be cool to see more people looking at the visual novel genre and seeing what it can be, instead of always being stuck on what it already is.